Okay, for those of you who have been following what we're doing with this older Rambo 27, this is a 95 model. I think it's a 95 or 96. Can't remember. I think 95. Anyway, um, we'll throw some before pictures into this, but it was bad, man. It was really bad. It just really rode hard and put up wet. Plus, it's an older boat. The new Rambos have 8-inch higher gunnels than this model does, but it had a trolling motor up here. Um, a Rodan will go back on it. Had a Minn Kota on it. Put a pop-up cleat instead of the crap cleat. Um, all the holes are filled. There was just holes all in the bow for some reason. The bow light had gotten busted off. That's a 3/4 inch um, paddle bit hole that was up there. 6 trolling motor holes and some other random stuff. So it's ready to paint. Boat was just pretty much trashed. We got everything back in order up here. This is a starboard lid to a front live well or a box, whatever you want to use it for. It's not plumbed, so you can use it for whatever. But the major problem was in this console. Most of you have seen the before pictures, and I'll open it up here, and you won't be able to see a lot. I don't have a lot of light, sorry, but it's it's pretty nice now. It was bad. I'm telling you, it was bad. It's been completely rewired, new batteries. We put rubber carpet in it, just gives it a better look, makes it easier to get in there and work on stuff too. Everything's labeled. Um, that was an important thing for me is getting everything labeled. Everything needs to be labeled so you know what it goes to if something happens. It did have these two 12-inch Simrads on it. It did have these. Um, it had black starboard that was not trimmed to fit. There was about 35 holes around this area here, around this whole trim area, around these units. So Jason Carlin cut some acrylic. This edge is hand blown on this acrylic. The units look really good. Um, this is totally hand blown. You can see the imperfections in it. I love that. Instead of just routed by a machine, and you don't get that smoothness to it. He hand blew this with a torch. It takes forever, and he did such a good job on it. We're still waiting on a Suzuki gauge. That's busted. That's the least of my concerns. Everything is NEMA'd. All our engine controls are NEMA'd in to the Simrads. I can do engine controls or GPS either screen. They're mirrored, so we'll show you that. I'll crank it up. He also, Jason Carlin, cut us a custom key switch with custom labels on it, because what was there was just cat head. That's a 2018 250 Suzuki. And here's what we got. So, we got RPM, trim level, show you that. That's trim level there. Got gallons per hour, voltage, miles per gallon, and that's your turn radius, engine temp, and miles an hour. That's the cluster that I like, but I can change those to all kinds of crazy stuff, wind velocity and all kinds of stuff. It's got a JL Audio Media Master 50 system in it. All that works really well. It's got 8 speakers, I think. This wheel, we're gonna change this wheel because this was real bad cat head and it's huge. I want a small wheel with a knob. I'll get from Contender. And then the switch panel, it was fried. We got pictures from before. Put a completely new switch panel. Jason cut another piece of this acrylic and hand blown the edges so it's rounded, not machined. And that rounded edge just looks great. And so he did the binnacle mount where the control sits. He also did that, hand blown edges. That was just black starboard. It was really raggedy looking, wasn't cut right. And then again, the key switch. So everything up here is hand blown acrylic. And we got rid of the dash was just trash. We had holes everywhere. All the holes are now filled on this thing. Yeah, there's a ton of speakers in this thing. And then got to redo the seat cushions. And I don't like this purple T-top. The aluminum is in great shape. It's got a real nice E-box in it. Yeah, so that part's kind of nice. A lot of rod holders. It's got Taco Grand Slams, outriggers. They work good. We had to do a little work on those too, believe it or not. One of the handles was broke off. We're moving back here. We haven't painted in here yet, but in this build, this thing did not have a high-speed pickup. So you couldn't run a saltwater washdown or a bait well pump. So we plumbed all that. There's a shut-off valve, as you can see. You see the shut-off valve down there. Plumbed in, saltwater washdown. It's coming out here. And I ran the float switch. There was no float switch in the boat at all. I need a bilge pump to come on if water gets in this thing. So with the batteries turned off, it'll run both pumps. Both of those bilge pumps down there, 1100 and a 2000 gallon per hour. Okay, these cleats, I've got all stainless for that. There was holes all in the gunnels, the gunnel caps, everywhere. There was holes everywhere. All that's been spared out. It's ready for paint. The floor is ready for paint. It needs to be acetone. The paint will be here today. I may start on that today. All these cleats, like I said, junk. We got all stainless hardware to put on after the paint job. The rigging tube back here, we've got these wires hanging everywhere. We've got mesh rigging and a new rigging boot. So a rubber rigging boot that'll come out of there, and everything will look so neat when we get done there. No need to put that on until we paint it. I really wanted to put it on just to go ahead and see what it looked like, but it's a little bit of work, not much, but I didn't want to get that on there because I'd want to leave it. So we'll paint it before we put that on, and then the motor will be pretty much complete. Somehow the C-Star steering it's still okay, it works okay, no problems there. This is the bait well. Jason's going to cut a new lid out for that out of starboard and make a frame and lip for it because this is too soft. They put the wrong stuff in here, and it needs a starboard lid on that bait well. That's a 70-gallon bait well. And anyway, that's just a short run over of what we've done. I like that it's got a lot of cup holders. At least that was something worth keeping. That and the motor and the Simrads were about all that was worth anything on this boat. And a couple of the speakers. We even had to change out the amp for the speakers. Put a 2,500 watt precision power in it, and it'll blow the roof off the barn. I can tell you right now it will. But anyways, that's just a quick run over. It has come a long way. This boat was seriously abused, and when that paint job goes on it and C-deck go in it eventually, you won't be able to tell anything was ever wrong, and everything will be perfect. It's completely rewired, ready to go. Can't wait to run it. Be back with y'all and give you the final details